Okay, so I'm already comfy in my little blanket. We are going to talk about some cuddling and tickle monsters, because why not? I feel like this whole thing that's happening with GeorgeNotFound and all that is kind of interesting. He came out with a new response video. We are going to watch Asmongold stuff to it too. And this is going to be interesting. We are going to look if we found a pedo or not, okay? Let's see. First we start here. These were the allegations that caitibugzz did. She was just ooting on her stream, like crying and telling she has the courage to do this, and it was some tickling stuff that they were doing. In no way do I know how sexual, like, cuddling and like tickling can be, but I mean, beats me, I guess. But you always have the just devil in a party, if I recall it correctly. So she had every way to just leave and all that. So it's interesting that this is going to all this. So let's read about this first. So people are attacking Asmongold because he spoke up about this whole thing, which is like normal Twitter behavior, to be honest. They are just dumbasses, as usual.
Oh,
let's see what Asmon said.
Bro, this guy had his life ruined. This guy got literally photoshopped out of existence because he had the audacity to cuddle with a girl on a sofa that lied about her age.
A couple days ago, streamer caitibugzz went live and accused Minecraft streamer GeorgeNotFound of some serious harassment allegations. Her reaction being so extreme left most people confused about what actually happened.
It's important for other people to hear it. I'm sorry, I'm scared.
She literally she sounds like a rape victim. Like, okay, I don't want to go into this because that can be bad, but this one thing that she's doing, it doesn't sound like you got cuddled and tickled. What?
In reality, she was the one that initiated the whole
So she initiated the whole thing. If you're confused, she's the one who goes with her friends to this guy's place, where they drink and chill. She tells them she's 21, and they cuddle with George for hours. I don't get it. So you go to a guy's place to drink and chill. I would assume you know that's going to happen. That's why you are lying about your age, so you can drink. So you wanted to drink. Why would you lie about your age if you didn't want to drink? Because that's the legal age of drinking. So I would assume she was planning to have fun in this party, planning to drink, because she lied about her age so she can drink. I would assume so. And I would assume so the guy cuddled her because he thought that the age difference is not that big. And she's not just a formerly minor. Oh god, the tecton quote.
encounter. She asked George if she could join him at his place. She told him she is 21, and then they simply cuddled. George eventually found out she was actually 18 and instantly ghosted her. So,
which is really good.
In revenge, she decided to destroy his
So why actual rape victim? Oh god, that comment.
career over senseless accusations.
Bro, he got his life destroyed. And everybody whose age doesn't begin with 1 is like, this is insane. But because that was like probably only 5% of his fan base was actually very upset. Was the girl underage or something? Well, she was 18. So she was she used to be underage. So basically she was underage. Yeah, but she used to be underage. So, you know, former minor.
Bro, no, not the former minor thing, god.
There you go, yeah, it's a former minor, guys. Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
Underage 21-year-old female. I don't know what the hell's going on with people, man.
This is so crazy. Like, underage 21-year-old female, like, what? Oh, to be fair, even if they cuddled, and she was 18, and he is 26, I think? That's like, what, 8 years? Is that a lot of age difference? I don't think that's a lot, to be fair. She's a former minor though, so she was just a minor. You have to say that too. But still. She should be old enough to make her own decisions, I think. Although he is in the position of power, kind of, because of the fame and stuff, so that's complicating things again. We are going to look for George's recent response to all this, but so far it's just her lying about her age, going willingly, planning to drink, lying about her age to being 21, cuddling, and the worst case scenario, tickling. That's what we have right now. So we are going to go deeper. Let's see. The response.
For those of you who don't know, caitibugzz recently did a stream and accused me of something very serious. I made a response and then she made a follow-up response. This is my response to her.
The response of the response.
Video, I'm going to be showing clips from some other people just for context. And just to make it clear, I don't want any hate to be sent to anyone, including these people.
We are watching this whole thing, so buckle up. Get comfy like me. I don't have any more coffee, but whatever. We are going in. We are going deep. We are doing some journalism. I think. I don't know. Probably not.
Here are the 2 tweets that I posted about the situation. These are now deleted as I only made them to let people know that I had intentions to make a response. And I didn't want people to think I was just completely radio silent.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to show you guys the tweets. You can see here.
Time that I needed.
Those are the tweets. Okay, enough. Stop looking.
I had intentions to make a response. And I didn't want people to think I was just completely radio silent in the time that I needed to make those responses. First of all, I just want to make it clear that my tweet that I put out after my first statement wasn't somehow admitting to guilt or completely backtracking on what I originally said. My perspective had changed due to new information that Katie had provided. So now I'm just going to go over Katie's new statement and talk about what she had to say. So first, she acknowledges the texts that I showed about them talking about wanting to play the drinking games are real, but that they were from her friends. So this is reasonable. I only brought up that point because the implication was that...
Let's see. What was that? Blah, blah, blah. Drinking game we played. So. He showed outside of Insta DMs. All proof was him showing a group chat he was not even in. It's a message from my friends, which is not me. The only message showing a response from me was when we asked about the drinking games we played. That was after we played it first night. I don't know why is this relevant.
So this is reasonable. I only brought up that point because the implication was that it was kind of creepy of us and we were forcing the game on them.
There was more alcohol in the room, and we were encouraged to drink some more as they offered the bottles to us and insisted on drinking games, and, already drunk, I obviously complied.
In reality, it was mutually.
That doesn't stand up, girl. That doesn't mean anything. You lie about your age, you're being 21, apparently 21, not really, right? But you're lying about your age so you can drink. Then you go to a party and they ask to have drinking games. That's the most normal shit ever. What's there to cry about? What?
We talked about, and everyone was just having fun. So next she mentions that one of the reasons she wanted to hang out in our hotel room was because
oh god, these big texts
in the room. But then that creator didn't actually end up being there. Again, reasonable. I didn't know this at the time. There were people in and out of our hotel room throughout the whole event, so she could have heard of anyone being there. When her group was
obviously
at the hotel, she was messaging me, bantering about whether or not I would actually...
George, why are you putting every evidence on that place, bro? Man. Oh, I'm trying to learn about what happened, bro. I'm trying to learn. You're just making me move my camera around so much. I hate this. Maybe I should just generally have my camera over here. Literally. Like, what's the point? Okay, sorry guys.
Be there or not, and that made me think that she wanted me to be there, but I don't know, maybe she didn't care and she just wanted to see the other creator or just to be with her friends. Next she shows our Instagram DMs, and she said that a reason she kept messaging me in a friendly way for a while after this whole thing happened was because, and this is a quote, she felt lucky to be talking to a verified account, someone famous, someone I had followed and watched for a while. Now, this is not something that I was thinking about at all. I wasn't aware that she ever watched my content in the past. That was never brought up. This actually makes me feel pretty bad. The only reason she was messaging me was because I have subscribers or something. I would never want that.
The
Again,
cloud
The only
chasers.
reason I actually brought up us messaging after the fact was
I don't wanna like come to early judgments, but bro, that there is really telling.
to show that
So
we were
far,
friendly
we see.
afterwards, and that I didn't know that she was uncomfortable at the time. She also confirms that we did talk on Snapchat, like I said, but also that nothing really happened there either. The next thing she talks about is the elevator.
That's good.
She said that we left at the same time and that her hotel room was on the other side of the hotel. So there was like kind of two corridors connected by an elevator room in the middle.
Mhm.
So she's saying that she was just going past the elevator to get to her room. And again, this is totally reasonable. I brought this up because from her stream, the way that it was told kind of implied that I followed her out and then that she waited to take the next elevator instead of getting in with me while I tried to convince her to get in. I'll just play the clip of her saying this, so I'm not speaking for her.
I went to leave, and the older guy decided to leave with me. We walked to the elevators, where I didn't get on. He then pretended that the elevator was broken, and that he couldn't leave, telling me to get in the elevator to prove it was broken.
In my original video, I just wanted to clarify this, that we left together because the night was over, and that she was on the same floor, so she didn't actually have to take the elevator, and it seems like she agrees with this now. So next she agrees with me that she didn't mention my online friend that I just met that day. She said she didn't mention him though because he left early
What
and
friend?
she didn't even know his name. And she shows a text message that she says is from him from the night
Okay.
where this happened, where he says this. Obviously this is implying that he was kind of uncomfortable with what was happening, and also that he knew her age despite just meeting her. And when I first saw this actually majorly changed my perspective on the night.
That is so interesting that apparently this guy known the girl age, and this guy is his friend. Apparently, that's kind of weird. How is that he knows the age and he doesn't? Why nobody telling him, or why doesn't she telling him her real age? What?
Because that would mean that my friend was also uncomfortable and somehow knew her age when I didn't. And even though she said that he left early, my
It's
memory of
weird.
it was actually that he was the last to leave, just before me and Katie left. Dream also came to me and mentioned that this changed his perspective of the night as well, because that would mean that he was essentially the only person that wasn't uncomfortable, and that therefore he should have known. This really concerned me.
So nobody known her real age, and she lied about her age. Oh girl, it doesn't look good.
I kind of was just sitting there like,
Doesn't
really
look good.
thinking, how could this have happened? So I reached out to my friend to talk to him about it, and it turns out that he actually didn't send this message. I'm gonna play a phone call that I had with him after I found this out, just because I think it gives more context.
What's up?
So there is a text that is claimed to be from you.
Yeah, I didn't send that text. I found out about it when you...
Oh, that is big. And if the guy comes out saying it like this, when this can have serious, like, legal repercussions. I don't know the, sorry. I don't know how to pronounce shit. That is big. So this highly likely true.
sent it to me. But yeah, no, that wasn't me. I don't know where they got that from. I didn't ask them for any of their phone numbers or anything like that.
Can you
Okay.
kind of just talk me through your, like, anything that you remember from essentially the entire event?
A little bit before VidCon, I hit you up to...
Oh, hold on.
That wasn't me. I don't know
Yeah.
where they got that from. I didn't ask them for any of their phone numbers
So his friend doesn't even have their phone number, so they couldn't even send them
or
messages.
anything like that.
Can you kind of just
So that message that she's shown was more than likely fabricated, like her age.
talk me through your, like, anything that you remember
Okay, now we are going to get into his friend's perspective of the night.
from essentially the entire event?
A little bit before VidCon, I hit you up to hang out, and then you mentioned that you had an extra bed for your hotel. We got there around like 5 o'clock. We just went out to your room, like met up, I think it was towards like 9 or 10 o'clock. We met up at Dream Spot. Then it was us three for a bit, and then you or Dream mentioned like just having some people come over and hang out. We were playing, I forget what the drinking was called. I think it was kind of like Cards Against Humanity, something similar to that. I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary. I didn't really notice any like bad vibes or anything like that. It was a little playful, maybe a little flirty.
That's
I
fair.
You guys were just kind of like playing with each other and just like kind of cuddled up a little bit on the couch.
Okay, that is another thing. That doesn't sound like it was forced at all. What he's describing is just being at a party, being flirty, cuddling up, you know? Everyone does that. I think that's normal.
So I was just, it definitely didn't seem like
So seems more and more likely that he's going to say it now. Let's hear it.
she was like uncomfortable, you know? I don't know, it seemed like everybody that was there was
Having a good time. So yeah, so right now it actually starting to seem like what Osmond was saying. She got ghosted, she got mad, and she's trying to ruin his life. That's what it seems like. Which is, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that a teenage girl would do that, you know? I feel like that's a normal thing, that you are mad because you are getting like dumped, basically.
a good time, because I mean we were there pretty late, so I don't really follow like this internet stuff like that, so I'm not up to date with what's going on online. The way she was explaining everything, I mean, at least to me, like it was not like that at all. To me, it kind of seems like a misunderstanding. There wasn't really a thought in my mind that like, oh, this girl like could be in some sort of danger, or she's being like preyed on or anything like that. Because yeah, even though George is my friend, if I noticed him doing anything that I wouldn't want someone I'm friends with to do, then I would, you know, I either would say something about it.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
not.
That's what friends do. If you seem like the situation is not okay, you are going to intervene. You're not going to watch and let it happen. What? And there were many people there and nobody did anything. To my knowledge so far. I don't think anyone did anything. Neither did her friends, George friends, Dream's friends. So what are we talking about?
I'd be a part of that situation.
She says that you left early on in the night. Could you talk about that?
I think around like 3 or 3:30, I went to go get tacos. I think I got the party back.
Oh,
For some reason, I couldn't believe I actually went.
the classic drinking and then eating something. That's so classic. Oh my god, I love that. That makes me want to drink and eat something.
And I got tacos. I know for a fact that I got the tacos like extremely late. Like I had to go in their drive-thru even when I was in a car. Like I had to walk through their drive-thru and like order through their speaker. That was fun. I know I left at 5 or very close to that time, because right after 5 I texted Dream that I left open the
So he actually has a tracks to Dream.
the deadbolt on his door. Right after I left, I texted him that to let him know. I think that was at like 5:10 a.m. Can genuinely say I had a really good night. That's kind of the impression that I got from everybody else too. Is like everybody was having a good time, but hopefully, you know, you and Katie can maybe, I don't know if be friends is the right word, but I hope she feels better about it, because you know I feel bad that she feels this way, but.
He's trying to be really politically correct here, I feel like. And this does not look good for the girl at all. What we've seen so far, it seems like this is for attention, and this is because he ghosted him. He ghosted her.
I don't know much.
Because so far it's... this is nowhere near, like, close to what she was claiming. Or her reaction.
Kind of bad situation. It's just fucking wild that like this whole situation came from like that night. It was just like mind-boggling, dude.
Oh, sorry.
Like, I couldn't really believe it, like half the shit I was hearing. Like, as someone that was there, like other ways that I've heard it being like described, like from what I was like reading and watching online, is actually kind of insane.
So obviously,
Yeah,
after this
Twitter bullshit.
conversation with him, I was pretty confused. Maybe it was like a misunderstanding or something, because obviously they wouldn't just show this screenshot if it was fake, because I could disprove that pretty easily. So I had Dream reach out to get some clarification on it. So they replied back and essentially just said that it was an accident and that Katie had gotten confused on who said what. And I'm really not trying to nitpick anything here. I just...
Casey's got confused on who said what. Girl, come on, your ship is sinking.
really think it's important to make sure that everyone has the full picture of the whole event as it happened so that people can accurately form their own opinion. Anyway, the next thing that she talks about is the cuddling. She said,
okay,
and this is a quote, "A lot of the touch was initiated by him, probably not realizing it. A lot of the cuddling he may have felt was personal, but it was just me being drunk. I do think a lot of the cuddling was initiated by me, but some of it wasn't. I was also drunk, but my impression at the time was that it was very mutual." She also says that, quote, "I didn't know cuddling was an invitation. I don't think just cuddling is an invitation for anything. I only brought the cuddling up because it's something that she didn't mention at all in her original stream."
We sat on the couch, and the older guy sat right next to me while playing. It was a little after that, when I had resorted to playing games on my phone when it happened.
And again, it's something that I think people need to know about to understand my perspective fully. The next thing that she talks about is that I said she got up and sat back down with me multiple times. She agreed with this, but said that the reason she did this is because, quote, "I didn't want someone I had watched for a while or with a large following to hate me for denying to even sit near him."
That is such bullshit, bro. If you're uncomfortable with something, you just go away. Or you are that, like, that big of a, like, you have that, like, you are that fun girly? Like, is it that, like, you're, like, starstruck in a way? That you just feel like you have to be there so they like me? What?
Now this makes me feel terrible. It's something that she mentions throughout, this power imbalance, but this is not something at all that I was thinking about at the time. She was a VidCon invited guest, she had a hotel room on the same floor as Dream, she was friends with my friends, and honestly I just never imagined...
I mean, there is like no power imbalance there then. Maybe some, but overall, if they are on the same floor, they're invited to the same place, then they are kind of on the same level as a content creator. Kind of. Of course, there's a difference. There's definitely a difference. But still, I don't think that power imbalance really exists. At least not to the degree.
Something that she could have thought. And I do think that's my problem. I should have been aware of this, or at least the possibility of this being the case. And I am sorry. I feel terrible about it. I've never really thought about power imbalance at all, to be honest. In that room, I wasn't thinking about, you know, YouTube subscribers or fame or power or anything.
Yeah, that was friends hanging out. The way that she's describing it, that she was thinking about that all day. So probably the reason she went there is to get friends with them, to maybe make content with them later, to get more subscribers or something. So it's like, kind of sounds cloud chasing in a way.
At all like that. I just saw us all as friends hanging out
Yeah.
having fun. Again,
It seems like that.
Downplay this by saying this. It is genuinely something that I'm going to be thinking about going into the future. This comes up again later, and I'll have more to say then. Next, she talks about how I mentioned that she stayed for hours even after her best friend left. She says that her best friend left throwing up in her hand, and that she didn't know she had left. That she didn't make the conscious decision to stay. Now, this isn't my recollection of what happened. I remember Ghosty getting up to leave and Katie getting up to say goodbye to her. I also asked Dream about this, and he had the same recollection as me. We were all drunk, so I can't 100% say for sure what actually happened, but as per my memory, she was aware that Ghosty had left. Also, according to what she said...
I mean, if you stay up to say, stand up to say goodbye to your friend, then you are aware of her leaving. What?
Katie and Ghosty were sharing the same hotel room together. So the obvious assumption is that they would probably leave together. The fact that she chose to stay, despite not really knowing most of the people there, gave me a pretty positive impression on how she...
Exactly. That, I mean, if you guys, if I'm getting like closer to a girl at a party, and her friends leaves, and she stays behind, bro. You know what I mean?
She felt about staying there. She says that after Ghosty left, quote, "I put up with it in the moment because I thought it was the price I had to pay to be around such big creators." Again,
that is such bullshit. Fuck off. No. they're just trying to make this out to be like this big creator, small creator thing when they are on the same event, from the same invitation. What?
Like I said before, this is just not something I even thought she could be thinking.
And the main thing is, he even stopped talking to her after, but once he learned her age. I don't get it.
And I'm sorry that I didn't. Next, she talks about me being more touchy as the night went on, and says this.
I mean, obviously.
Quote, "You didn't know me, apparently you didn't even know my age, but you knew what I wanted. No, he assumed it's what I wanted because why wouldn't I want that from someone like him?" This is absolutely not how I think about this kind of situation.
That is.
I would never think like that, and honestly, it's kind of an evil way to think about things.
That shows how she is thinking. That shows how she is thinking. Because this guy, with tears in his eyes, literally sitting there trying to explain himself. If you were a victim, you were actually a victim, actually like a predator or something. I feel like someone who gets like rape allegations and all that stuff, they just vanish because that's what they like. If it gets legal, like that's what your lawyer would say, that you should not say shit, leave everything to the court. The fact that he's coming out like this, risking everything, literally putting everything on the line, just to say his truth. That's telling.
That you can do anything because
I mean, she's kind of doing the same in a way, but reacting, I don't know. Okay, let's watch.
because you're famous or whatever. And I never once remotely thought anything similar to that. And I feel terrible reading those words knowing that you think that about me. I would never think that I'm owed anything from anyone just because I have a YouTube channel.
It doesn't look like that.
In an intimate context. Again, I'm really sorry for this, and it actually has been pretty...
I mean, just from the simplicity he's like dressed, and the whole room is so simple too. I don't know how he usually like dresses and how he usually like puts himself out, but I don't think this is someone who like just goes around, throws around his wealth and like his fame and anything. He does not look like that. I did not watch much about him, but he doesn't look like that. And if someone does not look like that, they're not going to act in that way. That's what I'm trying to say.
Pretty eye-opening to me, and it's just not how I've ever really thought about stuff before. And I don't really think you're wrong for assuming that I thought like this, because obviously there are people out there that think like that and use that to take advantage of people. And it makes sense
obviously.
that if you think that about me, that you would hate me. But that is not who I am at all. And I just really hope that you can understand that. Now, another thing that she mentioned that changed my perspective on things was that she showed texts from two of her friends the day after, checking up on her to see how she felt. She says, quote, "In the moment I was chilling, but thinking back on it, I'm sweating a little bit like, damn. I also don't know if I was chilling in the moment because I was drunk." And this is something that I was actually completely unaware of. I wasn't aware of any uncomfortableness in the moment, after the fact, or even after Katie's first stream. I just wasn't aware that anyone had expressed discomfort until I saw these texts. I actually had the opposite impression just because we were all really friendly afterwards still. Dream actually had a conversation about this with almost everyone that was in that room a few months later. One of their friends had actually tweeted about Dream, saying that he was inviting an 18-year-old girl back to his hotel to drink at VidCon, and was implying very negative things about Dream being a predator. So Dream realized this could have only been about Katie, because it was a pretty specific call out, but thought that it was just being purposefully misleading from someone that hated him. Dream actually had no idea as well that anyone was uncomfortable, and assumed that this tweet was implying Katie was uncomfortable with Dream. He reached out to Ghosty about it, asking what this was even about, and did the same to others, including Katie. Now, I'm not going to be showing Katie's text with Dream, because at the time Dream had told her that her messages and conversation would not leave their texts. However, here is Dream and Ghosty's conversation about it. "I was never brought up or mentioned at all. And also, when Dream makes fun of Harry for being ridiculous and making stuff up because nothing happened and we were all still friends, she said, exactly." She actually spoke about this on her stream very recently, and I don't want to speak for her, so I'm going to play the clip where she clarifies these messages.
The only time that we had a conversation about anything that had to do with that night was obviously when the stuff with Harry happened. And he texted me asking if it seemed like anything had happened. And I, at the time, said no, because the conversation was not about George. The conversation was about him, and it was about the underage drinking, and it wasn't ever about whether or not Katie, you know, it was always just about him and not George, which is why I said, dude, no, nothing seemed wrong, because he wasn't doing anything wrong, and I can stand by that. I will stand by that comment, and I said that in one of my posts that, you know, like, it wasn't him. That was our conversation. It was never about George. It was about him and the Harry situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about, at the time had seemed that Dream was one who had taken advantage of Katie, and I said he didn't. And I didn't lie.
And Ghosty, I'm really not trying to use your words against Katie or you. I'm just trying to paint an accurate picture of our perspective of the night, and to do that, I kind of have to talk about everything that we knew. I don't think your words negate at all how Katie felt, of course, but they did affect how I perceived the situation afterwards. Even after Katie's stream, this kind of confused us, and Dream especially, because he thought that this would have come up in these conversations. Now, he was so confused that he was convinced that Harry was essentially being malicious. And he said this, and Ghosty and others there agreed with him. Ghosty even said that her friends should get to know him because she and Katie had actually had pretty negative opinions of Dream before meeting him, but had their minds changed after meeting him at VidCon. This is obviously said about Dream and not me, but Dream looked at this as positive about the entire experience and shared this with me. It seems like Ghosty has changed her mind about this now, but I just think it's really relevant to how we felt about the situation as a whole, and to show this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Honestly, over the last year or so,
It's very interesting that now this comes out, and with the whole Dream thing, it just doesn't even shows up. So then what really happened? If you not if it is not about him or something, but still, this does not add up, you know? Doesn't add up at all.
anytime a creator has kind of distanced themselves from me, I just assumed it was because of Dream. Dream had false grooming allegations against him, and I assumed that because of this and my association with Dream, people didn't like me. After Dream posted his video disproving these allegations, I honestly thought pretty poorly of creators that were still negative to me, as now I thought there was literally no reason for it. And now, after seeing Katie's follow-up, I realized that probably everyone knew about this behind the scenes.
So there were fake allegations posted about Dream, and then they couldn't get Dream, and now they're going after his friend. Now it kind of feels like that. What?
And I think that is insane. I was walking around with these people at other events or interact with them in any way, and all the time they were just thinking terribly about me, and I didn't even know, and neither did any of my friends. If I'd seen Katie in person, I would.
Yeah, that's so weird. How is this not come up? How are they just pretending like that for so long? What?
Would have gone up to her normally. I would have assumed it would.
Especially since, like, if they want to attack him, it is best to attack him then. How is this coming up now? Like, what? Isn't it easier to, like, pin the whole Dream thing together with this? But I guess since he's saying the Dream big deal allegations, then what? I don't get it.
We're still friends. I think this is a massive injustice to Katie. It actually kind of makes me rethink a lot of my experiences with other creators, just looking back on it with this new information. And I don't even know who these people are. And even right now, after all of this information is public and out there, I still haven't had a single private conversation with anyone who knew about it prior to Katie's stream. This is all just to say that I didn't have any idea that there was a problem, and I wish that I had, and I should have. The last thing to mention is her age. Like I said, I wasn't aware at the time that she was 18. I mentioned that they had come from an official VidCon after party, they were drunk, and I made the assumption that, knowing how these events are run, that she was probably over the age of 21, as they wouldn't have been able to drink in.
How the hell are you getting drunk at an official party of VidCon? How are they not looking at your ID? Of course you are of course he's going to think she's over 21. What? In Twitch events, not 21 people cannot even drink. How is this shit run?
Otherwise. Now,
What?
they actually said that they drank somewhere else briefly before showing up, and that makes more sense. It
Yeah,
is
that
just
does make
for
more
me that
sense.
I made this assumption, and going forward, I will make sure to explicitly ask for a person's age. And I'm sorry, Katie, that I did not do that for you. I also brought up how when I was going back through the texts, I found a picture of one of them wearing a 21 plus age wristband, and I showed this picture. Now, this is from a group chat that I wasn't in, but Bree showed me this when I was making my video, and I figured it was relevant to why I was under the impression she wasn't 18. It is now mentioned that Katie wasn't actually the one that was wearing it, and it was just someone else's hand. So in these texts, they say, this is a quote, "Loose-ass 21 plus wristband. We have a strat." Now, to explain what this strategy is for the people that haven't really been in a club environment or a place where you would get a wristband like this, essentially they give you this wristband.
Yeah, they're just going to give it through their friend group and just get drinks with it.
To show that you are over 21 so that you can get drinks from the bar.
Yeah.
These wristbands are made in a way so that once they're put on, they cannot be taken off without breaking it. And that's precisely why they're used to prevent people from underage drinking. But clearly the security that gave the girls these bracelets didn't do a good enough job and didn't put it on tight enough. And this just shows that you can never be too careful and shouldn't make assumptions like I did. And I should have asked for her age. And I am sorry that I did not. This
But
is
bro,
not a mistake.
This is such bullshit. When did we come to this that I have to ask for a freaking ID when I go to a party where I would assume everyone is adults because we are going together in there to drink? Like, what? If you're going to a party, it's fair to assume that you're going to drink. Right now, I have to like literally just get everyone's goddamn ID card. Come on, fuck off. No. That's bullshit.
That I will make again. From Katie's statement, it kind of seems like she didn't believe that I didn't know she was 18 and kind of thinks I'm just being dishonest about it. She said that she had it in her bio and that I DM'd her, so she was very confident that I knew.
Later that night, when I left, I received Instagram DMs from him, and in my Instagram bio, in bold, was my age, 18, confirming he knew how old I was.
For context, as you can see here in this screenshot, her age is actually in her display name on Instagram. And because of this, I was also pretty confused how I didn't know.
And that's not even 18.
That she was 18, as it's literally in her name, not even in her bio. It's
Maybe she had a birthday sense then, I guess.
her name. If it was in her bio, it would make sense to me because
Yeah, but everyone, who the fuck puts their age in their goddamn nickname? Nobody. They put it in the goddamn bio part, not their name. Nobody does that. It's like your name is Katie, blah blah blah, and you put 19 because the before part was taken. What?
I could totally see myself going to her profile the first time I wanted to message her and just clicking message and never really going back to her profile.
Exactly.
Anytime I interact with her was just through the direct DMs where you actually can't see someone's bio. So I actually completely see where she was coming from, and it does seem kind of ridiculous that I didn't know. So because of all this, I actually started to look into this quite a lot because I know that I'm not stupid and must have seen it. But also in my head, I know that I didn't know her age, so it conflicts. So today I actually found out there are two different types of professional Instagram account. There's a creator account and a business account.
Okay.
And for some reason, Katie's account was a business account instead of a creator account.
So?
We actually joked about this at the time through our DMs because I was actually able to book her as like a business, and I didn't really know why I was able to do that. And weirdly enough, it actually turns out that business accounts don't display special characters from a username in the username that's displayed. And if you don't know what I mean by special characters, basically just a character that isn't something you can type on a normal keyboard. And because her age and the smiley is a special character,
Yeah, because it's bold.
literally just didn't display it in her username at all. And you can actually see this in a picture that I sent to her during our messages, that her age
doesn't
is not
show up.
displayed in her name. And you
But
can
nobody puts their age in their name either. Nobody. Literally nobody.
also see this in the screenshots that I used in my previous video, that her age also isn't visible, despite the fact that her age was in her name at this time. But now actually, as of today, her account isn't a business account anymore, so her age shows up again. and this is a screenshot I took today. Obviously, this wasn't a feature that I knew about at the time, and I actually had to do quite a bit of research today to work that out. So I hope
I
that
didn't
can
know
kind of clear
either.
that up a
Who
little bit,
does?
and that maybe you can see how I wouldn't have seen it. I actually do think
Yeah,
that
obviously.
the age difference between me and Katie was a pretty big factor. I am older than her, and based on what she said, I do have more experience than her. She never went into the exact specifics either, so out of respect for Katie, I've chosen not to give any more details than she did, to make sure that I'm not airing out any information that she's not comfortable with being known. But I have clarified that the furthest things went was under the shirt touching. She did say that the level of intimacy that we had
That's
together
fair.
was the furthest that she'd experienced, but to me, it was quite tame. And when I say this, I am not trying to devalue how she feels about this at all.
Yeah, but
I'm just trying to point out that we clearly viewed things differently. And this is something that I have learned from now, and I will be taking very seriously moving forward. And I am truly sorry, Katie, for not realizing this.
the guy is going to go around right now with a goddamn like FBI package in his backpack, bro. He's got, you know, but it's not even enough to ask for the ID. What if his ID is fake? You have to call the police, ask about her ID, then call the mom, then ask about the mom's ID if she's real. Bro, let's do detective work before I go cuddle a girl, bro. What?
This
Come on.
into account. It is clearly something that is extremely important to you, and I'm sorry. Even after everything I've just said, things would be very different if I could just say that I had asked her if she was comfortable and she had said yes. But the fact is, I never did ask this. As I mentioned, there were a lot of things that she said she thought that I wasn't aware of, that if I...
What world are we living when you have to ask a girl at a party for cuddling? Like, what? Do I have to, like, ask for consent for everything? I feel like those things are just goes, like, naturally, no? I mean, obviously, if I take someone to my home and wanna have, like, sexual intercourse or whatever with her, I ask for consent. But to cuddle up at a party... I literally cuddle up with my friends at a party. I mean, I'm not touching them like that, but still. What? I mean, I'm a cozy guy. I love cuddling, bro. What? I never even imagined that you would have to ask for that kind of, like, you know? And I feel like from there, where they are going, it depends on how both of them are reacting. And from what he says, it seems completely mutual. And what the other guy said, and what everyone else said so far, other than her friends, it seems that it was totally fine. And they were all fine with it too. And it was not like an uncomfortable thing. Or she was really damn drunk. Like, not even knowing herself at all drunk. But then, if she's that kind of drunk, someone would have stepped in, I feel like, you know?
I had known would have changed a lot. And going forward, this will be something that I take into account in every interaction I have with anyone, sexual or not. I am sorry, Katie, and I am sorry for how this will affect you going forward. And I'm sorry that everything got to this point, but I just hope that after hearing my perspective, you can understand that I never had any bad intentions and never meant to hurt you. I think that is essentially all the information that I can add to the situation. After her first statement, I actually disagreed a lot with how things were portrayed and was pretty confused by a lot of the details, but her most recent response made things a lot clearer to me, and now I do think we agree pretty much on the order of events. We just don't necessarily agree on my intentions, but again, I do really hope that her seeing this can help with that. There are actually a couple of other things that I wanted to mention before I end this video that are not at all as important as anything else I've said before this, but this seems like the right time to address other concerns that people have had. The first thing that I want to talk about is a comment that I made about Punz's girlfriend at the time, Andy. I was in a call with Punz and Andy was in the shower, and it was known that we could hear Andy as we had brought it up previously within the call. She was talking very sexually with Punz, essentially complaining that Punz wasn't leaving the call to go have sex with her in the shower. I don't remember the exact quote that I said, but this is what Andy quotes me saying. If you don't go in the shower and have sex with Andy, I will. I do remember saying something along these lines, essentially saying, come on Punz, go have sex with your girlfriend who's begging you to go have sex with her in the shower, or someone else will. But I do understand how this could be disrespectful, and that was not my intention at all.
Every friend says that to another friend. What? Are you crazy? Huh? It's like friendly banter in a way. What the fuck is this oversensitive bullshit?
Knowing how she felt after the fact, I do feel bad, and I am sorry to both Puns and Andy for this comment. My friends,
It's a joke.
including Puns, we often say ridiculous things, and that's just our type of banter.
Yeah, that's banter. That's what friends do. It's not like I'm going to actually go in and have sex with my friend's girlfriend in the shower. What? It's just ridiculing them. Oh my god, people. What the fuck? How you are not like understanding basic goddamn humor and comedy and jokes? What's wrong with
If anyone ever
people?
said something to me about me making them uncomfortable, I would obviously do my best to try avoid
So
making them
retarded.
uncomfortable. But Andy wasn't really one of my friends, so it makes more sense that she doesn't really know that's the type of way that I joke around. And I hope that she
Yeah, but
understands
still,
that I
what?
didn't mean any harm by it. Finally, something that I've wanted to talk about for quite a long time, but have never done, is the Technoblade charity stream situation. People were upset
Okay.
that I was playing soundboards during the beginning of the stream. For context, this event wasn't intended to be serious or sad. It was a for fun event and to celebrate the memory of Technoblade. A narrative that was massively spread was that I played this soundboard during Technodad's speech. But that actually was not the case, and I had played it during a time where all the creators were in a call just talking to each other before the speech had
Okay,
even
that's
started. And
different thing. What's this?
there's a problem with what I did, and that the public reaction was actually pretty crazy to him. And then he
Oh, this is a totally different situation. Okay, that was a good response. That was really good response. Odds off on the video. He beat the tickle monster allegations. And some feel like communication is non-existent in the creator space. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, bro. This was not a sexual assault. Like, why are we throwing out these things? It was not an... Yeah. That's exactly it. What this guy says. A dude is making a move on a girl. She got nervous and regretted it. The dude didn't know her age. Because of obvious reasons. Nobody can tell me that the goddamn Instagram name with a number is going to be your age. Fuck off. That's bullshit. No. That is not the case. It was literally a party where a guy is trying to make a move on a girl, and the girl was mutually just doing it or going along with it, or she was just nervous because it was her first time but still went with it, and then later regrets it, probably because the guy ghosts her when he finds out her age, her actual age. What? It's actually not downplaying her feelings, but it was not an assault, period. Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it's miscommunication and regret. What? Oh, yeah. It does sound like that. And this all should be handled in private. The fact, you know what? I'm going to say it. The fact that she's coming out like this, it does not show that she is like a victim or some bullshit. If she really thinks this way, if she thinks that she was actually sexually assaulted or something, that's when you go to court. That's when you go to the police and you get this done privately. The fact that she's coming out and saying this loudly and accusing him and trying to ruin him, basically, that's what is happening. That more looks like clout chasing. And what happened was not a sexual assault at all. It was a guy literally making a move on a girl at a party when both are being kinda drunk and tipsy. And since she was drunk and tipsy, I would have assumed so that she's over the age to drink. If she's joining like adults to drink too. There's nothing else to talk about here. This is just bullshit. I hope this guy is... yeah. I would see PedoNotFound, bro. That's going to be the title of this thing. I swear to God. What the hell is this shit? Okay, this was a long one, so thank you if you stayed for the end. And yeah. It was interesting to dive into this. Really interesting. And God, man, I'm going to go around with like asking for ID, asking for fingerprints, blood tests. We are not fucking around, bro. And I'm going to have like 100-page document of consent stuff for everything. Can I breathe? Can I be close to you? How many like centimeters can I get closer? You know, like everything. Fucking God, these people. Jesus Christ, man. I guess this is what happens when you grow up on the internet. Fucking joke. If you like this, leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe, bro. This is going to be a long one. The first really long one, actually. So yeah, bye.